All right, it's good to see you all back. And as I said to earlier, I hope you've all had a great lunch. Our next session is our keynote address is Doing Good Rewards. And the CEO, Brad, is here to give that presentation. So welcome, Brad.
Good afternoon, all. I'm going to wake you up. And that's not just because you've had a great lunch, but I hope that we're all here in 2 or 3 years' time and you can remember this moment as something that was an oh my God moment and how big this thing called Lions Australia Community Rewards is going to be. So you're going to hear about something amazing and it's going to help all of us at Lions, not only here, around the world. So that's the start. Hopefully that wakes you up enough to listen. Okay. Before we go on to that, just so you know a little bit about who I am. So I am a Lions member from Sandringham, and my club is all very jealous because they're all doing the great work we all do, a barbecue at Bunnings today. So I'm representing the club. So we're out there raising funds, but I'm here doing the talk for the club. But I am also CEO of a new social enterprise, which is basically based on the theory of Lions. So it is all about doing good, helping everybody in need, but doing it in the local community. So the premise of this new great company is based on what we all live and breathe at Lions. So that's something to remember as well. Okay, so let me just put it in context for all of us here. Some common problems before we talk about the actual new concept we all have at Lions. Look, we want to do better at fundraising. It's always hard these days to get more funds, isn't it? It's hard to keep asking people for extra money, keep delving into the pockets. We're all coming up with creative ideas to do it, and this new entity is going to help us all just in another way to raise funds. But also, a common problem we all have, and this isn't just in Australia, it's around the world, a little bit of decreasing membership, so trying to find ways to keep the membership growing at Lions because look, the other thing I'd add to it is that I don't know what you guys are like, but when I talk to everybody out in the community, so many people just don't understand all the good work that Lions does. I think, there just isn't the real feeling out there knowing how much we help charities, how much we help people in need, and we really need to try and get that message out in a greater way. This is going to help that as well. So, let me get you to close your... Actually, don't close your eyes. You'll probably all fall asleep. So let's keep the eyes open for a sec. But let's just get your imaginations running wild. So imagine a world where really in regards to fundraising, we didn't have to keep asking people to donate all the time. Imagine if donating just became a normal part of everyday life. So no having to ask people, it just happened. Imagine if we didn't even have to give spare change all the time. So we didn't have to find more money out of our own pockets to donate. Imagine how that could be. So imagine this. If every time you shopped somewhere, you automatically saved a bit of money, but part of that saving went to charity. Imagine if that existed. So instead of having to ask people for donations all the time, their normal shopping life, which we all do, don't we? We're all out there shopping, buying groceries, unfortunately buying a little bit too more grog during COVID, etc. But whatever shopping we're doing, hairdressers, getting our car serviced, etc. If all of that, every time, and you see savings out there, don't you? People are giving discounts all the time. If those discounts happen automatically, but a part of those discounts automatically went to charity. That exists right now. This is the model, and I'll talk about how we've built it exactly for Lions, but just have a quick look at this video to get an idea of how it works in real life.
At Doing Good Rewards, we've come up with a world-first concept that will change how we all support charities forever, and it's a win-win for everyone. Merchants will get more customers. Customers will automatically save money. Charities will receive a part of that saving. And businesses will stand out for making a real social impact on the world. So, how does it work? Let's say you take your family out for lunch at a participating cafe. When it comes time to pay, you tap your Visa or MasterCard and you automatically save money. You keep the majority of these savings, and we send a small percentage of your saving to a charity of your choice. You don't need to do or give anything extra. When you shop, you automatically save and automatically give. Plus, at tax time, you'll get a list of all your micro donations, and they're all tax deductible. How good is that? That's what doing good rewards will do for everyone, all around the world. Imagine how much good we'll all do together for so many charities. This is the next disruptor in the charity giving space. Getting set up is easy. Simply register your name, number, and email, choose your favorite charity, and add your Visa or MasterCard. In less than 2 minutes, you're good to go. Power positive change for everyone. Join the Doing Good Rewards movement.
And I can say that we now have a program that is live right now called Lions Australia Community Rewards. So that concept isn't just a theory, it actually exists. It is the start of it. We're very early days and it's going to build over the next 2 years. But let me take you through the model so you understand how it works. And just imagine if every one of us and all our friends and family were a part of this, how much we'd be supporting Lions charities. So the idea is it's built on a little bit of an ecosystem. So the ecosystem is effectively more of us, more members, and more of our friends and family, shopping at more retailers or merchants, which can be online or in-store, means that automatically there'll be more donations to charity. So remember, there's 3 parts to the ecosystem, and I'm just going to take you through each 3 parts very quickly. So first of all, think about us as members. How we start the journey is all of us in our clubs, we invite, firstly, our club members, but also all our friends and family, everybody that we know, every network that we know, everybody in our local communities, we provide them invites to the Lions program, and it's all free. So it's easy for them to join. There's a whole range of support, such as flyers, posters, email links, any way that you like to do it, and I'll be outside afterwards to talk everyone through it, but everyone will get the links to a folder that every club can use that has all the different types of invites, even down to the dreaded QR code that we're all familiar with these days with COVID. Unfortunately, everyone loves it, scanning another QR code. But you can scan a QR code, and it's simple as that to join. So many different ways to do it. Once you get invited to join, you just basically create an account, like every modern system these days. It's easy, you just put in your email address and a password of your own. You choose a Lions cause, which at the start is going to be LCIF to start, and then you register an existing Visa or MasterCard. FPOS is now on board, by the way, since we started this, and soon there'll be Amex, Diners, pretty much any digital form of payment, because the idea to make it easy is so that you don't have to think about it. When you go into a store, you just tap your existing Visa card, and it knows who you are, and then it gives you a saving and sends money to your charity. So that's why you register a card. And it's what's called PCI compliant, which is the highest level of banking security infrastructure. So it can't be broken. When you do this yourself, if you keyed in your credit card, as soon as you key it in, it disappears and just shows the last 4 digits. So even if someone was watching over your shoulder, they couldn't copy it or see it, and the system can't be hacked. So it's super secure. It is something modern for the future. So as we grow and grow over time, there'll be every form of payment that you can have on there, and that makes it easy to track. So the first stage of the ecosystem is to get all of us and our friends and family joining. Because once we get more people joining, what happens is when they shop, so they can shop in-store or online, I'll go through the different ways to shop, but remember, this is the start, so it's going to build over the next couple of years. What we've set up for Lions is that it's automatic that 50% of your saving goes to you and 50% goes to LCIF, and that will change and grow over time. But the example here is that if you spend $20 in store and there's a 10% discount, you automatically save $2, so $1 goes back onto your credit card and $1 goes to LCIF. So think how easy that is every time we're going in and just buying a bottle of wine or doing something like that. That's the process to make it really easy. Then you get to see your transactions live, if you like, so you can look at them online and see everything happening live. A lot of people don't have time to look at them, but they're all there in case you want to look at them. You can see them going on. You can see your donations. But the best part is, even if you just shop and save and you totally forget about it, I don't know about you, but I give lots of little bits of donations to lots of different things, and I just forget about them. All of this is tracked, and then the first week of July, you get an automatic tax receipt summarising all of those micro donations, and you get it back at tax time anyway. So I mean, how good is that? You've shopped, you've automatically saved, and you've given to charity, and you get it back at tax time. So that's that part of it. So let me remind you of the ecosystem again. Remember, there is the members, that's the stage we've just gone through, members and friends and family. Then we get on to the retailers or the merchants. At the moment, there's 4 ways to shop, and I'll have to be honest with you, unfortunately because of COVID, this has worked in reverse of how we planned it. What we planned is that we would start with all the in-store merchants, which is just, you know, the local pizza shop and your hairdresser and where you get your car serviced, etc. But the last 2 years hasn't been kind to this system, unfortunately. So most of the stores were closed. So we've started with more online stores. So you'll see there's 4 ways to shop. There's online retailers, there's gift cards, there's movie vouchers. We're shortly going to add theatre tickets and sport. Then there'll be travel and a whole lot of other things. But the main secret to this is that progressively from the second half of the year, this year onwards, you'll start to see more and more in-store retailers come up. And that is the real secret to this, so that people don't have to go online and buy something. It just happens in your everyday life. So we're at the starting gates, but this is going to be something that's amazing. Oops. I think we've just dropped off there, so if you think that we have in-store, so the merchant is going to be, there we go, back online. There's different ways to shop, and for those that aren't really too familiar with, this system is built around your mobile phone, but if you're not too familiar with the mobile phone, there's also a website, a Lions Australia website, where you can go on and look at all the benefits as well. But this is just to give you a bit of an example of a couple of the benefits that are there already, and think that this is just the start. We're going to be talking to more and more in-store merchants. By the end of this year, we expect to have about 1,000 in-store merchants on, and it'll just keep growing from there. You can see some of the brands there. So movie vouchers, every type of movie voucher. Every time you want to go to the movies, you can purchase those. And gift cards, they're really great. The idea was for gifting, but certainly I use them for my everyday shopping at Woolworths, etc. But it's just to let you know that while we're at the starting gates, there are so many different things to use already. And you can already shop in all those different places. But the secret will be, from now on, it's about getting retailers in store. So I'll talk about that now. So the idea is that the real growth of this is for any clubs that are really interested in it. The idea is that it's really good for retailers. So we've talked about it progressively ourselves, and certainly my local club, Sandringham, we're talking to all of our retailer friends that are already our sponsors and saying, come on board first because you'll get the most support. So the idea is if you've got sponsors that you already support you, talk to them first because they should get the benefits out of this with all of us and all of our friends and family shopping at those retailers. And it's great for them because they don't need to do anything different than they're already doing. What we do with the system is that we take whatever offer they're already doing, so it might be 5th coffee free, or it could be 10% off on a Tuesday, or whatever it is, put it into the system, and it does the work to split it and send some to charity. So for a merchant or for a retailer, it's really great for them because they're not paying anything, it's free to come on board, and they're getting more people shop at them. So they get more customers, there's no extra costs, they don't have to put in a new system or do anything. It all happens through what's called their FPOS terminal, or the payment gateway. So really great for them because it's just like a no-brainer. It's so good for them, and they stand out for supporting Lions and potentially other charities. So if your club is interested and wants to get more of your local retailers or shops or supporters on board, I'll be outside later, but also in this link that we'll have later, you can grab a form anytime you like, and it's just a 1-page. You drop it into the retailer, they scan the code, and then my team contacts them and gets them on board. And we've already had a couple of examples of that from different clubs. that have asked, that have talked to their local retailers, and already they're on board. So it's that easy. So for you guys, it's not hard. It's just about saying, who would we like to have as part of this that we'd like to support in our local area? We'll get them on board, and then you guys and your friends and family can all shop at them, and it makes it really easy for them as far as that's concerned. So remember, again, we're going back to the 3 ecosystem. Just to give you a little bit of the last part of the ecosystem is our charities. Even if just our current members went on board, and I'm not going to take you through this in detail, but even if just our current members came on board, we'd be giving, by the end of a 12 months' time, over $1 million to LCF charities. Now, if you can imagine that it's not just our friends and family, it's not just us, but we give it to our friends and family as well, and they give it to their friends and families, it's a bit of a spider web effect. So by 3 or 4 years' time, we could be giving 4 or 5 times that amount of money without asking anybody for any extra money, just in their everyday life. That is how good it is. So that exists right now. That's an example of the Lions program. It's as easy as scanning a code, but again, there's so many different ways to ask people to join. But the real secret is that it adds value to all of the things we want to do. It helps with fundraising, but can you imagine the membership issues? You know, we're trying to grow more members. It's hard to spread the word. If we start giving these Lions Club Community Rewards memberships out free to everybody we know, every month, every couple of months, they're going to get a little video, a little update telling them some of the good work that Lions is doing. So instead of the community not really knowing what's going on about Lions, they're going to start getting regular updates, little videos, little updates on how much good is going on. And can you imagine how much easier it will be to move someone that has no idea about what we do to hearing about the good charity work we're doing every month or every couple of months, to then move them to becoming a full member? That is something that will make it really easy, because by default, they're going to be hearing about what we're doing rather than us having to talk to them all the time. So it's going to help with our membership as well. But then, when we think about the spider web effect that I talked about, which is how do we make it really big and actually just beyond friends and family, the secret is to then talk to sponsors we have like Bunnings or like others, or companies that we use, and getting businesses to start their own programs. Because when they start a program, we'll make sure that Lions is one of the supporters or the charities that their staff and their customers choose. This just gives you a snapshot. Imagine if all of these businesses had a program and kept popping up that all of their savings were going to Lions.
Imagine if your business had a program where your community is reminded of your brand giving to charity every time they shop.
See those little pop-ups? How good is that? Every time someone shops, they get a reminder that they're saving money because of Lions and they're supporting Lions. That's what we want to do. We want to make it a no-brainer for everybody in the world, really, to be supporting others and supporting charities, and we want that to be, you know, for all of us, we want that to be the Lions charities. It's a really new idea. I know some of you are using it already, so I just wanted to leave a little bit of time at the end, because I know I'm almost out of time, but for any questions that people want to raise. Sure. Yes, you can. You can put any number of cards. So you could, if you had 10, you could put 10 cards. So, but yep, you can put a credit card and a debit card. And at the moment, as I said, it's only right today, it's only an EFTPOS card, a Visa or a MasterCard. But soon we'll add other payment systems on, so that any payment system will be allowed on it, which is really great. Sure. Yep. Are you trying to onboard a major supermarket? Yes, we are. So already, look, the big guys are going to take a while to come on board as far as, you know, being in store. But Woolworths, look, we're talking to Woolworths, Coles, Aldi, everyone really. IGA are probably likely to come on first. With Woolworths, I haven't announced it yet, but you'll see, for those that already have the app, surprisingly, because I thought it would take probably 18 months, 2 years before they came on board, but already their BWS store, they've gone from the gift card to the online, and they're doing 7% online. If that works well, it'll come in store. So you know BWS is owned by Woolworths, so if that goes well, we expect that gradually it go through their other brands. So it's exciting already, but I don't want to get people over excited. It is just the start of it. So it's a rolling. Just 1 second behind you. Yep. Sure, just so everyone heard that, somebody said, have we gone into the regional areas yet? Certainly, we've got partners that are working in different country zones as far as that's concerned, but the quickest way, to be honest, is the forms that I talked about, just dropping those off at your local retailers, because then my team contacts them and gets them on board. And look, it sounds so simple, it's like a 10-minute chat to them, and they all sort of go, oh, well, it doesn't cost us anything. You can turn it on for us, and there's no lock-in contracts for retailers. So they all get worried about, am I going to be locked in for like 2 years? How much is it going to cost me? The people behind this, we've been retailers ourselves, so we understand, you know, what they're worried about, and they are worried about how much it's going to cost them, how much they're in control of it. So as a retailer, they can change their offers with 24 hours notice. It automatically works for us when we tap the credit card. Also, they're not locked in, so if they don't like it, they can pull out with 24 hours notice, but so far, no one's pulled out because it doesn't cost them anything, and it's like just a way to create new business. And they also get the figures to stand out for being a business that really supports charity. Yep, back corner. Yes. Yep. Yeah, no, people are concerned about, you know, credit cards being broken and things being hacked. So the question was, if you're using a debit card and it's linked to your bank account, is there any way they can use that to break in? So this is what's called PCI compliant, which is the highest level of banking infrastructure, and it uses what's called tokens. So your credit card isn't actually kept. As soon as it's registered, it registers a token rather than the actual credit card. And so does anyone here have a little app that pops up when you spend money and that your account, yep, there you go, your account pops up and says, oh, I just spent $10 on leisure, or I just spent something here. That uses a banking infrastructure called card linking. We hook into the card linking. So we haven't developed the tracking ourselves, it's all through tokens. So it's all secure through the banking infrastructure. So good question, and thank you for that. Yep. Yeah, if you use the gift cards at the moment, which is there, it doesn't affect it at all. We're talking to them about embedding it in their whole program. So that's how exciting it might be for the future. So yeah, there's a lot of retailers that are going, oh, this is amazing for us because we'll stand out for putting this much money back into charity as well. Rather than what's called, you might have all heard of a thing called top up and round up, which is where at the end of a purchase cycle, you get asked, say, at the end of a Woolworths checkout or at PayPal online or different things where you go, oh, would you like to round that up by 40 cents or add an extra $1? This is different. This is part of a saving that you split and give up a part of the saving. You give it up at the time, but you get it back at tax time anyway. Whereas those other ones, they're not tracked and you don't know what's going on. Question down the back? Yep. Yep, sure. And it doesn't have to be 10%. So for a retailer, it's good. Retailers can use it for whatever model works for them. So let's say if you're full and you don't need any more business, it's probably not going to work for a retailer. It only works for retailers that want more business, because what we do is we drive business into them, because you might set rules and say, I can't afford to give 10%, I might give 4%. Or I can't afford to give 10% on a Friday and Saturday because I'm full anyway. So you can set it to say it's only Mondays to Thursdays. Or you might say, oh, I don't want to give 10% if it's just one coffee. So you might say it's 10% after they spend $20, or you can cap it at a top. So for retailers, it's a really, really flexible model. The only ones it doesn't work for is if they just don't need more business. But for 99% of retailers who want more customers, and want people coming back, it's great for them because they can set the rules however they like and change them. It's got marketing built in, like geofencing, so when people are close, that pops up with offers. It's really good as far as that's concerned. Plus, for a retailer, instead of giving a percentage of profit to charity, which I certainly did with all of my sports stores, I used to give 2% of all my profit to charity. But now I can do that as well, but all of those little donations that get made, while the person, you and I as shoppers, gets a tax deduction, the retailer gets all the figures to say, this is how much has gone to charity under your brand, so you stand out for your social impact without having to give more from your bottom line. Because you're right, coming out of COVID, life is hard, for all retailers. So we want the model to work only to drive them more business, but to support charity at the same time. So really good question, and thanks for that. Sure. Yep, very good question. So somebody asked for the retailers, can they display anything to show? There's window decals, which are a circle that faces outwards on the window so it doesn't get weathered, and it basically says, this is a business that supports the doing good concept. Yep, so very good. I think I'm just about to get pushed off stage, so maybe one more question. No cost. This is and so the idea is that it's all about, so it's based on the theory of Lions, which is really community, supporting community, no cost to the member as far as that's concerned, no cost to the merchant, no cost to the charity as far as that's concerned. How this social enterprise business, which isn't about making profit, but it's about being sustainable so it doesn't collapse, it gets a small tweak of the fee from the merchant or the Visa or the MasterCard, etc. It's called a transaction, like a transaction clip, and that means we as members don't have to pay anything. Lions gets 100 cents of every dollar that gets collected, goes all the way through to the charity, so there's no admin fees that get taken off it, and the merchants don't pay anything extra except whatever offer they're willing to give. And we just use the offer in a different and cleverer way. Yep. Yes. Yeah, so we get paid by, as I said just then, by a merchant or a credit card clip, so it's 0.25 of 1% each time there's a transaction, and that's what pays for all the systems and the staff and everything to transfer the money to charity. But all of the good news is, because I've worked with so many charities where there's a lot of admin fees that get taken out, 100 cents in every dollar that we all give goes all the way through to Lions. There's no admin fees that comes out at all. And I will be outside later because I've run over time, so I have to get off. But thank you for listening. I hope that in 2 or 3 years' time, we're all here and you're going, oh my God, that was an amazing start to what we're doing, not just for Lions Australia, but for Lions around the world. So thank you.
I'll just stand here. Just thank you on behalf of everyone here present for Brad's presentation. It's a bit of a new formula for us to be thinking about, but I see it as a great opportunity to let our communities know about Lions as they support charities and the support we give them. So Brad, here's a certificate of appreciation. Where are you?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And thank you for making this presentation
No problem.
today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you. Oh, good. Thank you. Cheers.